Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it's still dark out. I've been having kind of a whacked out sleep schedule off and on in my life for the last few years, and I keep waking up really early lately. And I want to do a reading typically when I wake up that early, because a reading during the witching hour is great, right? Around 3 a.m. But the challenge for me is that I can't just walk into my card studio and turn on, light my candles and go. I have to kind of get set up out here, and that's usually not something I feel like doing at 3 a.m. Even if I feel like reading cards, I don't feel like doing the whole setup. So this is close though. I mean, I've been up since like 4 thinking about this reading and what I wanted to do. And I decided on a point in time reading. So I'll be pulling cards just for a general layout for the current point in time. So a very present moment energy. What should you know? We'll just get into it because I've got time. Today's a work day and I see therapy clients, but they're all spread out and later in the day. So I feel like I have the capacity to focus too on a reading. Oh, I should have done that before. I need to pull the Fool card out. My apologies. You got to sit here with me while I search for that quickly, or not so quickly, depending on your perspective. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to be uploading an obsidian mirror reading here soon. Those have transitioned into personal readings, like someone's reading versus like a collective reading as the theme. So if you're attracted to that, you'll probably like those because they're going to be a little bit more personal now for people and less just about what's going on even globally. That's what was coming through a lot in the past, but that's a new way I'm going to be engaging with that scrying tool. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't already pass it because I'm talking. Sometimes I'm not very good at doing 2 things at once. Here we go. All right, so point in time reading for you. I'm also trying to remember to take my glasses off because of the glare. There's so many little things that you learn when you decide to start a YouTube channel. It's a lot to keep track of, like framing, audio, connectivity. Like, I would love to be able to live stream, but I don't think I have the signal strength for a YouTube live stream. I could do it on Instagram, but it was a little glitchy. And I might be able to do it here now that I have like a mesh package on my internet. There's like a booster in here that might help the signal a little. So maybe I can try some lives because I love live readings. I think they're great. I like people being able to watch in real time. I think it's really enjoyable. But the first time I tried to do one here and it couldn't tolerate the feed, I was really discouraged and I've never tried again. So maybe it's time. What's going to be helpful for someone or a group to know in this collective right now for this point in time? What should they anticipate? And what's helpful for them to know in the recent or remote past that is context for where they're at and that can help them maybe get more clarity about where the energy is moving forward and how they want to adjust or not. What will be helpful to know? What's going to be useful to come out? Oop. Well, this is a flyer, so this seems important. I don't typically have flyers, so a 3 of Cups could indicate either a joyful, loving, close-knit group of friendships or family members. Sometimes it can indicate a love triangle in a love reading, so we'll find out. But it sounds like either the 3 Number 3 is going to be significant, or heart-based relationships, close relationships to you. Okay, looks like this might turn into a love reading, but let's see. I just love the Marseille deck images. I just think they're so beautiful. And in fact, the Marseille deck has my favorite card that represents the devil. I highly recommend this deck. It's an original. You can't go wrong with an OG, right? Let's see. That's interesting, because at first glance, when I looked at this, I thought there's tension and love. There's something, and there has been. But what's interesting is that this is actually really positive, what's been leading up to the present moment. So it just goes to show you, like, I don't know what it goes to show you. Just use, be attentive. Be attentive to everything, your initial impressions, but then what cards actually came out. Why might that be if they seem in juxtaposition? I love that kind of thing about cards. So you've just been through a period of feeling like I'm barely gonna make it. Like there was a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's the kind of feeling of like crawling across the finish line. You've been through an experience like that, and it's been in relationships and disappointments of the heart. It's been something that's been really trying and testing for you to do with the realm of the heart and love. But there was a recent shift where a lot of reason to be joyful came in. Like you were going through a sorrowful time, a time of maybe licking your wounds, of feeling maybe outside of a love triangle or some type of tense imbalance in the realm of the heart. There was a shift into like either new information coming to light or new clarity, or a lot of joy and rushing infusion of a change of circumstance that the Sun card can bring. It's the happiest card in the deck. It's very, very joyful. It's a really blessing omen in any reading is the Sun card. And right beyond that Sun card energy of joy, of newness, of renewal, of understandings, of happiness and play, is a calming, like a move into calmer waters with the Six of Swords. And the Seven of Swords. So, so here actually, what it is the Seven of Swords followed by the Six of Swords. So the joy of like, man, I am getting out from under this sorrowful situation finally. It's that kind of liberated joy of the Seven of Swords, like the thief getting away with the prize. Like I made it out of, I'm a cat burglar and I made it out just in time before the cops arrived, right? Something like that in a good way. That's the good energy of the Seven of Swords. And that's what's happened here for you after all this joyful, there was a lot of sorrow and sadness and tension followed by joy, a feeling of getting away with the prize, and then a moving of calm, a lot of up and down, because then right beyond that moving to calmer water is the Chariot. So then picking back up again, right? Like lots of highs and lows all of a sudden after a low period of time and a sad period of time where you just felt like, am I ever going to get there? It's a lot of context. This layout is giving us a lot of context for this reading. And now here we are at this point in time, right in the very center of things. I like when point in time layouts give an equal balance of past and future. So now, with all this joy and excitement and success on the horizon, comes a period of possibly overindulgence. So just know that there's a little bit of like having it all, but vulnerability to gluttony in the immediate future. I'm not sure why that is, but right beyond it is the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. So it may be that because all this changes in the air, there's some excitement, but things are still not all the way calibrated and evened out. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. With this Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and Hanged Man, there's still going to be some work or heavy lifting to do, like that echoes this Ten of Wands. Like a little bit of a feeling of, sorry, I feel like I look like a Elvira or something in this light with these glasses on. I don't know. So there's some need to kind of still do a little bit of heavy lifting in the immediate future around this dynamic. There was some fatigue you were experiencing, like, I'm just never going to get to the other side of this conflict. I want to be free of this triangle or this disappointing, never getting anywhere, disappointment in love. Oh man, hang on. I forgot to turn that heater off. Let me pause this. Okay. So, there's still going to be, like, there's been kind of this up and down since having this blast of joyful sun energy. There's kind of like a what's the new order now that we have this joyful, amazing, I'm actually succeeding and get away with it when I thought maybe I wouldn't at times. That sun card was your light at the end of the tunnel. You got to the end of the tunnel and experienced all that joy. And then there was a brief calming down period followed by another rush to the present moment. And now there's going to be a little bit of a vulnerability of overindulgence, possibly. And heavy lifting and work to still do around this sun offer, this joyful seed of opportunity for a new beginning. That heavy lifting and slow down period, it's like not a stalemate, but just a pause, like a stillness. It's almost like everybody's going to need that pause in this to get their recalibration. I know I keep saying that word, but it's like that. Like, you're stepping into the new order. You're in that liminal space, the in-between space. And as you settle into the new order, there's still going to be a little bit of that unevenness, right? Like, let's overindulge. Let's get wasted because we're so excited, right? I talked about that in my last financial reading. So there's still a little work to be done, but it's ultimately beautiful and abundant and equalized ultimately and balanced out. Balance is coming in with these 2 6s. So even though there's been a little bit of chaotic energy, there's balance coming in. And as long as you're willing to put in a little bit of the work that you were doing before, it's going to be easier because now this sun experience has occurred. So what was this? What was the situation here? What's going on? Let's find out from some Kipper cards maybe what... I had thought about maybe doing a grand tableau. Maybe I'll do that if the Kipper reveals some interesting stuff. I might clear this and then do a grand tableau over it. With the same question, right? What is this? What happened or what's going on? Is this involving love? Relationship? Is it involving, it's material. It's in the material as well. What's happening? What is the story here? You are going through the loss of a relationship with an older man to you. It's over. This could be a father or an uncle or a grandfather. It could also be a third party. And there was a triangle kind of defined here and highlighted. In fact, it was a flyer as we identified. So this is about a triangle. It's over for you. You're this main female here. You're in feminine energy. There's an end for you to a triangle. You were involved with another party. You were the one in the triangle, and it was causing a lot of sorrow and confusion. This relationship, this third party connection caused a lot of sorrow and like dark energy or illness for you, like lower vibration, like it wasn't a good aligned relationship for you in your life. It's interesting. I mean, that's what it was saying. It was hard to get out of. You may be in the process of ending this relationship. You're in, yeah. What about what's to come? What's this period of stillness and Seven of Cups energy here? What's to come? This looks like there's been a death, and you're going to get some kind of a legal inheritance here, and that's the relationship that's ending with this older man. So you may have lost your father. This is showing you as in feminine energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a woman. Okay, that gets said a lot, but I want to emphasize it here. Typically for me, it tends to align, but I don't know, because I don't know who's watching this, right? I don't necessarily know you. I'm reading energy without having a person sitting across from me, right? There's an inheritance. What I'm guessing is, what I'm sensing is that there's disputes over the inheritance in some way. There's a lot of players here. The wife of this third party for you may have gotten in contact with you, or there's illusion present. There's something to do with this love triangle that's caused a lot of disappointment. And I can't quite figure out where you are related to these people. Like legally, how are you connected to this legal process? If it seems like it's your loved one that has passed away, but that there's somebody disputing, like maybe a person connected to your loved one is in a dispute with you over the estate. That's kind of what I'm picking up here. You're in a dispute with someone over an estate. And it involves a material inheritance and what's going to happen with it. It's only the beginning stage of distributing this estate. It's coming through. Sorry. It took me a minute to kind of connect these to these. But that's the beauty of combining decks, is that you get a lot of depth. There's going to be a distribution of this estate, and there's a dispute around it. There's also something really happy, though, about it. Like maybe you learned that you're a beneficiary, and that made you really happy. And you felt like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm getting away with this. Like this person remembered me in their will, my grandfather. I didn't even think but then it's now creating a conflict because these other family members are jealous, right? It was kind of a surprise, is what it looks like to me. Interesting. What else? What else is relevant here from the Lenormand? Can we get any clarification from the Lenormand? What's important to understand about the future here with these upcoming events, with the stillness and rebalancing? What's important for you to understand about it? There's going to be some communication around this love situation with this other. This is wild. Okay. So that's why there's so many players here, because this is a very involved triangle. It involves a triangle on both sides. So this reading is dishing out some tea, is what I'm realizing. This is a very complex situation here with more than one third party. So you were in a relationship as this main female, or there's also a main male showing up now. So you are a couple, but there's other people that both of you are involved with. And there's some sort of sorrowful ending because of this mismatch. Like everybody's mismatched here. There's going to be communication coming in about it. That's, I think, going to reveal that things are going to take longer to change than anybody is hoping, is what it looks like to me, because there's quite a long legacy. This reflects something that's been unfolding over a long period of time. This reading is showing a long period. This has been like a saga almost of relationships. And that happens, right? People lead complex lives. And in fact, the idea of courtly love is weirdly coming through because of that complexity. So because during the Middle Ages, which tarot, Marseille is particularly, is from that time, when marriages were not really based on love, when they were based on survival and kinship building and keeping and maintaining royal bloodlines and royal lineages, that's where the concept of courtly love was born, like knights in shining armor, bringing a rose to the fair maiden. That was all because they were typically, it's my understanding anyways, that those were often not consummated, or if they were, it was in secret, right? But it was a way for people to play out their passion, because their marriages were not often a vehicle for that. They were more about business and like kinship and money and stuff like that. Marriage is not a benefit to women typically, but anyways, so that's in play here. This has been in play for a long time. You both may have been entangled in other situations for a long time. You may go way back with this person. They're in a negative relationship. You're in a negative relationship. It's mismatched, but it's gone on for a long time. There's also going to be changes, though, to it, because there's been a shift. There's been a change. So now I'm going to pull... What else? I'm going to pull some other cards here. What else is important to know about this long-term, ongoing, complex, people feeling they're with the wrong partner, trying to sort through how to make changes that are, when so much time has gone by, things like that. There's a feeling of like vulnerability to being hopelessly entangled, or having to just keep carrying this heavy load that is getting tiring. It's even bogging the sun energy down, which is too bad because there's no need for that. But the Hanged Man against the sun, there's something tense about it. Clear your energy. That can help you maintain your clarity as long as you're doing things like smudging yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health, keeping your side of the fence clean, making sure you're not projecting on others, right? Clearing your own energy will help in this complex, convoluted, even situation. Sing to clear your throat chakra and lift your spirits. So I think communication is important, especially loving communication. Maybe even loving communication through music has been something that's been helpful to you through this. Stand firm in your center and your truth. That 7 energy, that 7 of Wands energy, even though that card isn't here in the layout, it's showing up here, right? Blend in, shapeshifter. So stand your ground, blend in. It might not be a time right now for bold action. What else? What else is important to know? Keeping your energy clear, keeping firm for what's true for you. So thine own self be true. That just came through from Hamlet. I don't know, but Hamlet energy is, this is Hamlet. This is the play Hamlet, right? Lots of themes of revenge and betrayal and power and royalty and lineage and love. All that stuff is in play here. It's pretty epic. This is a pretty epic tale. And an epic tale was a part of the revenge reading I just did, so that might have meaning for you. That might be your reading also. If you haven't watched that, go back and read it. It's only like 2 readings ago. Someone's revenge scheme is in the title. This has that similar feeling of this being a very long-term saga. What else about this energy going forward do you need to understand? What else about the energy going forward do you need to understand? And in keeping with having chosen the Marseille tarot deck for this layout, this is also a French cartomancy deck from around, well, from later on, but there's a lot of intrigue in this deck, like in the Kipper and Lenormand. I love how cards can come together like that. So energy going forward, what's important for you to know. 20 degrees of Scorpio. It's going to be hard for me to read here in the dark. In the silvery light of the pale moon, the slender and muscular silhouette of a wolf is outlined. He is uttering his fearful death cry before hurling himself against the defenseless beings whom he will ferociously attack, or else run away like a coward on the least sign of danger. This card often causes the consultant to undertake heavier tasks than he or she is able to accomplish. It's the sign of fierceness and cowardice. It represents trickery and even theft. It gives good organization, but also denotes meanness and spitefulness. So that tension of all of these convoluted party involvement, there's a layer of toxicity to it. And this wolf is sort of crying out, right? So you may be that. You're crying out through all this confusion of this and wanting to be on the other side of it. It's easy to feel embroiled in this kind of saga-like energy with multiple players involved that goes back for a long time. So keep your energy clear, blend in, maintain your center in your own truth. Do that by maintaining your own clear energy center and singing and communicating clearly and doing throat chakra work through music, right? Like using music as a tool to help you through this time. Other advice is 10 degrees of Sagittarius. A vigorous and brawny colossus demonstrates his strength and power by opening the lion's mouth. Great must be his physical resistance and his tenacity so that he may withstand the reaction of the untamed beast. This is the card of dominion, of courage, of strength, but also of anger. Yeah, that revenge reading is going to have relevance for you. I can feel it. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch that reading. It will tie into this story in some way with all of these players in this sorrowful triangle experience that you're trying to move out of. You're succeeding, but you're feeling like it's taking forever. You're on your way to an abundant, because you've planted the right seeds for change. It is a martial card of the highest value. It gives success through effort and personal merit, bringing esteem and renown. But it is also surrounded by enemies who must be repulsed before success can be attained, and violence will often have to be employed. It is a card which always gives renown and promotion. So that energy is not messing around. This is important. Everything that's going on here is important. There's a lot happening. That's what it keeps saying. This feels very epic. Like, this might even be part of the reason it might feel so epic, is that it's been going on for a long time in this present day. But this could also have resonance for you as like past life energy, right? Like some of your ancestors or your past lives with these players might be playing out. And finally, so success, it's important to know that you're succeeding in your efforts to shift out of this old paradigm and sorrowful cluster of just inappropriate, it's not right. You're leaving an old way behind. Finally, balance. I don't know where this balance card is, if it's up here with the constellations. It to me represents Libra, so you might be a Libra. There's Libra energy involved here. We're in Libra season. So that can help you also know that this is for you, possibly. I don't know where that balance card is. Why don't I know where that card comes out in this deck? It's confusing me. My apologies that I can't find that in here. But it's the scales, okay? And if you look at it with the Sun card, you can see the relationship image-wise. I don't know if you'll be able to see that here. But you can see that this Sun coming out is in harmony with this Justice and Balance and Libra card. We also have the Balance card coming in with the Six of Pentacles. So it's Libra energy, it's recalibration like I was talking about, it's joy, it's newness. It's been a stubborn, old ancestral paradigm that both of you are breaking. That's what's coming through here. So it's something that has felt like it has taken forever because it's been very dense energy that you're clearing away. And it's been very convoluted with multiple players, multiple feelings, multiple intrigues, like feelings of deception and things not being what they seem on both sides of this relationship that has third parties on both ends, right? So this is complicated. What's something to take away now? You're going to succeed. That Sagittarian energy there is really amazing. You're kind of crying out right now from some of the sorrowful past. It's being it's being equalized, and Libra energy is also strongly represented. So you might be a Libra. We're in Libra season, so this Libra season may have significance for this particular event as well, or dynamic in relationships. What's important for you to know and take away about this? Clean it up. All that glitters. Yeah, this is a very... things are still in play, which is why the Fool card came out in the very center. The situation's not over, which is what it indicated. There's still going to be some heavy lifting to do, but there's a lot of reason to celebrate. That's come through. Clean it up. I can't remember what number this is. Card 21. It came in the reverse, so this might be saying that there's going to be things here that are not yours to clean up, that still need to be cleaned up on the other end of things. But let's see. If I remember right, that's what that card means in the reverse. Is it possible you may be focusing too much on other people right now, trying too hard to be helpful? Does taking on what belongs to others make you feel needed or desired? Perhaps you think it's your calling to relieve people of their burdens, but what is the cost to you and to them? Don't clean up someone else's side of the street. You're not helping by freeing him or her of responsibility. You're also not doing yourself any favors, and you just may be adding an even greater strain. You are loved as you are. You don't need to be needed to be loved. So that's an important lesson for someone in this equation. Someone might be feeling guilty about leaving the old relationship behind, even if it's a mismatch. That happens, especially if you're vulnerable to codependency. And sometimes people can manipulate you if you try to leave by saying things like, I'm going to kill myself if you leave me, right? There could be things like that have been in play, that have been hard patterns to break. Card 16 in the reverse. This is a signal to walk away from what you are contemplating. I'm telling you that revenge reading is for you also. There is a thin veneer of glitter and sparkle that masks something rotten underneath. Pursuing it will only bring about a difficult situation. You will be sorry you got yourself into. Stay away. Isn't it wonderful how Spirit protects you? Better things await. So that's that Seven of Cups card that's just in the near future. It's saying, watch out. There's something that's not, it's a trick, it's an illusion. It's not what it seems. And it could be like an opportunity to get back at them, or to do, this is saying, walk away from that kind of thinking. It's not going to serve you. Part of the reason I think of that, because the Hatfields and the McCoys just came through. So that's that cycle that you can get in of just, what is it even about? That's like, it becomes a race to the bottom. Where if you're just now focused on getting back at this third party person that you were entangled with that hurt you or effed you over or whatever, you're not allowing the new to come in and your life to be rebalanced. So let go of whatever that illusory thing is and keep your energy clear as you move away from this old pattern. So I hope that's helpful to you. Lots of information came out, chock full of information. I hope that's helpful. Thank you, and I'll be back soon with an obsidian mirror gaze for someone.